Hello there, my name is Dean Bouvier, and I decided to create a short little video which gives an overview of the work that I'm doing to create a standardized humanoid animation rig and animation library to drive it. The reason for the standardized animation rig is this is the existing animation rig that the human settler character uses in game right now. So you can see it's very heavy with 85 bones, some of which are these helper bones, and it's also in a proprietary format that makes it very difficult to access and utilize. If somebody creates new clothing for the settler, unless they have the software that can open and access this armature system, they can't really get that clothing properly animating on the current settler character in the game. So there's a number of goals that we were striving towards in creating the new standardized format. One of which is to keep the rig very lightweight. The current rig has 32 bones, of which there's no helpers, only 5 bones per hand. It uses kind of a simple mitt concept and a single jawbone. Anything more articulated would need to be done using morph animation. But it's really not meant to be a cinematic rig. It's an MMO type rig. It's a game rig. It's very lightweight. It's also going to use a large library of animations that are created and stored in a universally accepted format, the BioVision hierarchy motion capture format. This way it can be leveraged in any program that an artist is working in, and can be expanded from there. Because it doesn't have helpers, the traditional form of animating will be difficult, so we're using motion capture data to generate the base animations from which to work. I use IPI Soft's motion capture tools to record and edit. The nice thing about the IPI Soft tools is that they work with consumer level cameras like the PlayStation 3 Eyes. As you can see here, I've got a 6-camera setup using PlayStation 3 Eyes, recording. This take is a run take. I cover my room in gauze to cover up any darker regions of the room, because basically you teach the software what you look like. In this case I'm wearing darker clothing, and then it frame by frame tracks your motions and teaches the skeletal body how to follow that. There's also Connect depth sensor that you can use. In this case I've got 2 of them set opposite of each other, and I'm essentially creating a 3D hologram of myself doing a walk animation, which then gets mapped onto the body and the skeletal rig from there. The Connect depth sensors work nice because of the speed of the ability to set up, record a session and make tracks and then get it out into editing. The PlayStation 3 Eyes gives you a much larger area of capture. When I'm done creating my takes, I export them out individually in a Blender format, because it gives me a good working data set in a bone hierarchy I'd expect to see. I bring it into BV Hacker. You can see that here's that run animation. Now the character's running downwards off the screen, so what you want to do is to hack that. You don't want your character to translate. Ember handles the translate of your character, or the translation of your character through 3D space. So you want to lock your character stationary. It's easier to work with it that way, and essentially cut the animation track so you get a nice looping clean animation. In this case you can see I have a nice clean run cycle. So you would save it at this point and then bring it into your modeling software of choice. In this case it's Blender. I like to work with Blender. Basically you would import your animated cycle in at a scale of 0.1 and Y is forward. When you bring it in, you'll notice you now have a new armature, which is contains the run cycle animation data. Because the standard skeleton and the imported armature have the same bones hierarchy, I can retarget that animation data onto the standard skeleton, and it now has the run cycle information. I can now get rid of the other armature. I no longer need it. The data I want is now on this armature. Now I can now do any refinements I want. I can give my character improved hand animations, fix any errors I might see. Maybe I'd animate the jaw to give him a bit of a breathing action while he runs, and then I would export these refinements out to a new BVH, which would be the most up-to-date and current version. Anybody could then take that BVH, import it into their editing software, and work on it from there, improve and refine, and basically extend the existing library of actions. Once you have your actions created, you would bring them all together into one big unified file for exporting. This might have to be done in several files because the tools might crash exporting too many animations all at once. But essentially you're going to stitch them all together into one binary skeleton at the end, which will contain all of the animations, which all use the exact same rig or skeleton structure. Once you've done that, really all that you need to do then is to export your character out. You would then repoint your character to the new skeleton, and as long as the vertex bone assignments are of the right bone indexes, the skeleton association will be as you would expect it to see. It'll work perfectly. So you would then have binary meshes that would point to a binary skeleton, one binary skeleton, which would be the standardized one, which would contain all of the animations, and you could then basically retarget your model definition. In this case, I've retargeted the male model definition, which currently had the existing settler character, and I've pointed it to the new male mesh, which uses the new animations, and I've replaced the older animations with the ones that are contained in the new skeleton, the new binary skeleton. You can see I have a trans run forward and a trans walk forward, etc. Those are all the NLA tracks that were exported out. And let's load into Ember and take a look at what it looks like. Now, there are a number of benefits to working with a standardized skeleton and utilizing the animations library system. One of the benefits is that if the artist, in creating a new humanoid character, really just wants to get their character into game and doesn't want to do any animation work and just wants to leverage the existing animations available in the standard skeleton, then basically all that they need to do is to associate their mesh with the standardized skeleton and point to the proper binary file, and as long as the bone indexes match and the vertex assignments are good, which is done through weight painting, their character is in-game and fully animating with all of the animations that are defined in the standard skeleton file. So when he picks things up, he will run the pickup animation. Now, obviously there's a timing issue here, but that's something that's easily addressed in the model definition by changing the speed of the animation track. But as you can see here, he's got walking and running animations. If an artist were then to add new animations or further refine and extend the existing animations on a animation level, like let's say I improve this running animation, I could then bring it into the larger, more global one where you build the main skeleton. I would replace the existing run with the new run that you would see here, and then re-export the skeleton out, rebuild the main binary mesh, and in doing so, all of the humanoid characters which utilize that skeleton would receive the new animation updates. Here you can see an Erifiid. It's kind of a satire-like character that I'm creating. It's not close to being done yet, but it's an interesting test case because, as you can see, it has a different leg structure than a normal human character does. But yet, I've mapped the standard rig onto the structure of the Erifiid. I've made the associations, and I have exported that character out and generated a binary mesh which contains the bone vertex assignments that you see here, and changed the skeleton to point to the new male skeleton, which has the standardized mesh and my current animation frames in it. And just for simplicity's sake, let's go in and replace the new male in the male model definition with the Erifiid mesh model definition. I don't need to do any animation section changes here for the game animations too, because it's the same mesh. You might want to add variation and changes, do blending work and whatever, but for simplicity, let's just leave that alone and go back into Ember and see what it looks like applying the standardized rig on top of the Erifiid character model. Being able to quickly bring your characters in and having them leverage a skeleton which applies all of the animations and actions and essentially building from an existing model definition, even if you create a unique instance, a new model definition for the Erifiid character, which is what you would really want to do, it becomes very quick and easy to do. You're building from a base, so you're not having to do all of that work yourself from the start and building from there. It's quite nice in the sense that you can leverage the work of the community. You can leverage my work essentially in building a library of animations from which to apply to your character. All you really need to do is create your character and do the weight painting, and then target the standard skeleton, and your brand new character, as you can see here, is quickly and easily in the game and fully animated, so he can then go and perform all of the same actions that the other characters do. And as the animation library gets extended and expanded and built up more, all the characters in the game that utilize that standardized rig will improve as well. If you want to make your own motion capture animations, you want to make your own customized rigs, you're quite capable to do so. You just need to edit them at whatever level you choose to get involved in. I'll be creating a series of tutorials which will go through the whole process of creating motion capture data, getting it edited and into Blender, and then working your way through that to all the way to essentially creating game ready data and retargeting your mesh so that it utilizes the game assets completely. So that's a quick overview of the system that I'm working on to bring animations to the WorldForge project, and in particular the Ember 3D client. So I hope you enjoyed my short little video, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know. If you'd like to see any particular animations be added to the animations list, I'll eventually be putting this up as part of my workflow on the wiki or in a public manner, so that it can be seen and leveraged and added and adapted over time by the community. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing what you build with the WorldForge toolset in the future. Thank you very much.